Hi everyone, so I'm Allie. I work here at Heart Niagara and I'm just filling in for Gigi today. So she did all the background for this presentation. So today I'm going to be going over flexibility for health and well-being. And so today our main topics are going to focus on what is flexibility, what causes a loss of flexibility, and the benefits of improving flexibility, and then lastly how we can get started on improving our own flexibility. So to start, what is flexibility? Flexibility refers to the ability of a joint or a series of joints to move through unrestricted or pain-free range of motion. So further range of motion is influenced by the mobility of our soft tissues that surround our joints. This includes muscles, tendons, and skin. So often flexibility isn't discussed when it comes to our overall health and wellness, but in reality it has many positive impacts on our physical and mental health. We have to start somewhere when it comes to gaining flexibility and improving mobility. The reality is, if you feel you're lacking flexibility, you will benefit greatly from stretching and learning how to improve your flexibility over time. No matter your age, flexibility can be improved at any stage. So what causes a loss of flexibility? We may experience a loss of flexibility merely by our completion of everyday tasks. So many of us spend multiple hours a day doing repetitive tasks or sitting at a desk, and this can cause a loss of flexibility. Our bodies adapt to the posture we spend the most time in, so poor posture such as hunching can lead to pain and soreness. Additionally, sitting at a desk or engaging in extended periods of sedentary behavior can damage our muscles and reduce flexibility if we are not ergonomic. Many yoga stretches can help us stretch those muscles that we are over or underusing in our daily lives. So what's happening inside our body when we aren't using those muscles daily? When we are inactive or failing to use certain muscles, those muscles tighten and then over time they shorten out. As a result, our range of motion weakens. A good example of this is what happens when we have poor posture and hunch ourselves forward, as I mentioned. When we do this for an extended period of time, the muscles in our chest tighten and shorten, which then our back overcompensates and has to extend. This can cause pain and soreness, and we may have a hard time maintaining proper posture after engaging in that position for so long. So one of the biggest benefits of improving our flexibility are those associated with our physical health. So when we improve flexibility, we are likely to experience fewer injuries, and the increase in our strength and flexibility allows for our bodies to withstand a higher level of physical stress, reducing our risk of injury when overextended. Likewise, when we are more flexible using more muscle groups, we reduce our muscle imbalances, again reducing that risk of injury during strenuous physical activity. Alternatively, by improving our flexibility, we are likely to experience less pain associated with muscle tension and overextension. When we work on lengthening and opening up our muscles through stretching, we are likely to feel better. When tension leaves our muscles, we will experience fewer aches and pains associated with completing those everyday tasks that we like to engage in. By improving our flexibility, we can also increase our physical activity, which can result in a reduction of chronic pain and reduce our likelihood of experiencing illnesses such as arthritis. Lastly, improved flexibility can improve posture, balance, and physical performance with increased range of motion, and we may find it easier to sit or stand without feeling strained on certain muscles. Likewise, we can ease into activities such as yoga that will continue to introduce strengthening and improved flexibility. It's important to note that we should always be cautious when starting a new stretching or exercise program if we have a history of injury, and we always want to speak with a medical professional when seeking advice about your health. So flexibility and mental health. A huge benefit to improving our flexibility is a positive state of mind. Studies have shown that stretching for flexibility is directly related to an increase in serotonin levels, which is a hormone that helps stabilize our mood and reduce stress. This can decrease feelings associated with anxiety and depression, and the stress that we experience can cause our muscles to become tense or cause discomfort, which is improved by the increase in serotonin. Likewise, stretching reduces our muscle tension while opening up our bodies to allow for feelings of deep relaxation and increased energy levels. Stretching to increase flexibility also increases our connection with ourselves, our mind, and our body. So other advantages to improving our flexibility, besides the physical and mental health benefits, are that it is easy and quick to get into the habit of doing. Even if we feel that our lives are busy and we may not have time to effectively start a stretching routine, for flexibility, it's really easy to squeeze into our everyday habits. If you're experiencing decreased range of motion or balance balance or back pain, setting aside only a minimum of 10 minutes of stretching a day can improve those symptoms. Alternatively, many quick and easy stretches can be incorporated into your daily activities, as you'll see in a little bit, if we're struggling to find time to stretch. So, how to get started. So in order to increase our overall flexibility, as mentioned, you need to find what works best for you. In general, it's important to focus on breath work, static stretching, and dynamic stretching, which Diana is going to help demo in a little bit here. And although many other types of exercise can also aid in improving that mobility and flexibility. So if you already have a good exercise schedule that you aren't ready to mix up, just adding some short sessions before or after can improve your performance and flexibility. So to start, we're going to look at breath work. So in any type of physical activity, proper breathing techniques are really important. This is especially true for stretching. So diaphragmatic breathing is the foundation of breath work, and it helps teach us how to breathe more effectively while expending less energy. So in turn, this strengthens our core and diaphragm, and practicing breath work is essential for increasing your flexibility. So to get the hang of diaphragmatic breathing, we want to follow these steps. So you want to sit or stand with good posture, and you also want to place your hands on either side of your rib cage. And then you want to deeply inhale through your nose and feel your rib cage expand for about 3 seconds. And then when you exhale, you're going to exhale through your mouth, engaging your core and as you push your air out for about 5 seconds. So once you have done this a few times and you feel confident in your diaphragmatic breathing, you want to try to do that in different positions. So when you practice breath work, here's just a few positions that we're going to practice. So Diana's first going to take us through the seated breathwork position.
So you guys, sitting or standing, or sitting again. When sitting, you want to make sure feet are planted on the ground, ankles are in line with your knees. If you can, tuck your bum underneath, brace that core in, pushing the ribs down, shoulders relaxed away from the ears, and head is nice and neutral. When we're doing the sitting breathing, again, hands on your ribs. We're going to inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time, inhaling for 3, 2, 1. Exhaling through the mouth for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If we are doing the standing version, just a quick little thing. Remember, if we're standing, weights in the heels, little bend in the knees, tuck the bum underneath, core braced in, shoulders are relaxed away from the ears, and we're going to inhale again for 3, 2, 1. Exhaling again for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Diana's also going to take us through the cat-cow position and how to practice your breathing through that as well.
So, first option can be on your hands and knees, remembering that our knees are in line with our hips and our wrists are in line with our shoulders. Fingers spread out nice and wide, shoulders away from the ears, and we have a nice flat back. So I could put a glass of water on my back and it wouldn't spill. Doing the cat and cow, you always start from the back and work your way up. So bum to the sky, drop your belly button to the ground, and chin comes up. This is when we inhale. Exhale, tuck the bum underneath, belly button to spine, chin tucks in. So we inhale, and then we exhale. The other option is, if you can't go on your hands and knees, you can do it sitting, either on the ground or in a chair, whatever works best for you. If you're doing it, hands on your quads or on the top of your legs, and you're going to do the same thing. Bum sticks out, belly button points out, chin is up as you inhale. Exhale, curl in the bum, belly button to spine, chin tucks in. So inhale, and exhale. And then come back to neutral.
Thank you. So some of those positions, and as you can see, yoga is a great way to practice that kind of breath work. And with various different types of yoga offered here at Heart Niagara, you can start your flexibility journey anytime. And so the next step is static stretching. And so static stretching is a process in which you come into a stretch and you hold it for an extended period of time without moving. And so when you practice static stretches, you want to keep in mind a few things. First, you want to make sure you warm up before you do static stretching to avoid injury. A low intensity warm up, such as like a quick walk, could be really helpful to warm your muscles up to prepare for that type of stretching. Second, stillness is key for static stretching. You want to ensure that you aren't bouncing around trying to increase your stretch and deepen it. So you want to try to hold your stretches for about 15 to 30 seconds and relax and then repeat without that bouncing. And then third, it's also important that you don't want to overextend your body. You only want to go as far as your body will allow. Overextending can cause injury, and so you want to make sure you only stretch to the point of tension which you will feel in your muscles. And then lastly, you want to remember those deep breathing techniques and be aware of how you're breathing and try to practice that diaphragmatic breathing whenever possible. So again, we have a few examples. There's a lot of static stretches that you can practice, but here's just a few easy ones that you can work into your day. So the first example that Diana's going to show us is the chest stretch. So after sitting for a long day or having that poor hunched over posture we discussed, our shoulders naturally begin to round forward. So this type of stretch helps open our chest up.
So for this one, you can do sitting or standing, your choice, even sitting on the ground or a chair. If we're standing, remembering our good standing position, we're going to interlock our fingers, maybe grab your wrists, whatever works best for you. We're going to roll the shoulders back and down, really opening up that chest. And as we do so, we're going to lead with the heart. It's like there's a string tied around it, something's pulling it as you hold the position. So, and remember, we're not thrusting, we're leading with that chest. The other option is, again, sitting. And my pro tip is, when you do this, you're on a little bit of the edge of your seat. So if I sit all the way, I can't really get behind. So you might want to sit a little bit on the edge of your seat, interlock those fingers, or you can grab onto your chair, same thing, shoulders back and down, stick out that chest as you hold the position.
So our next one, we have the forward fold, which helps stretch the back of our body, including our calves, hamstrings, glutes, and spine. In this stretch, you remember the importance of not overextending yourselves, and you will only stretch until you feel the tension, which you definitely will.
So sitting or standing, you can sit in a chair or on the ground, whatever works best. Standing, you're going to be feet shoulder width apart. Maybe your feet are together. It's up to you. A little more stability with the wider stance. You're going to reach down and touch your toes. Can't reach your toes, A-okay. We got knees, we got shins, we got ankles, you got your toes, or maybe you're like me, you can go beyond your toes. Whatever works best for you. You can have your knees a little bit bent as you reach down, or keep those legs nice and straight as you reach down to the ground. Sitting, same idea, if you're doing it in a chair, a little bit on the edge of your seat, heels down, you're gonna reach, knees, shins, ankles, toes, maybe beyond your toes. Whatever works best for you.
And then the last example we have here is the neck rotation. So a bad night's sleep, or when you're constantly looking down at your phone or device, this can leave your neck and shoulders feeling stiff and kind of out of place. So when practicing neck rotations and diaphragmatic breathing, you can feel balanced and realigned.
So for this one, you want to bring your ear to your shoulder, but the first thing you have to do is inhale, like we've been doing. So we inhale to prepare, exhale, let the ear drop. And the reason we exhale, it deepens the stretch as we hold the position. So the inhales may lift our head a little bit, but the exhales get it deep. As you hold this position, you're more than welcome to stay there. If you're looking for something a little bit more, a little bit extra, and I say this ever, ever, ever so gently, you may add a little bit of pressure on the head. You don't want to do too much for two reasons. One, it might be too much strain on your neck, so do what feels best for you. And secondly, you may be like me and you have a screw loose and you don't want to lose your head. or any of those marbles. So as we hold, and we do the other side, just want to make sure you do both sides, everybody. You inhale up, exhale to the other side, hold it, and then when you're ready, inhale back up.
Thank you. So the next part is dynamic stretches. And dynamic stretching as compared to static stretching is more about movement in your stretch. So in the case of dynamic stretching, you put your muscles and joints through full range of motion instead of holding those stretches. So as Diana just showed, all those stretches you want to hold them for a certain period of time, whatever works for you, but these ones you want to move throughout the stretch. And so again, we have a few examples here. Practicing each of these for 30 seconds and then alternating direction or lifting the other leg will greatly help improve your flexibility. So the first one we have here is arm circles, and they help to loosen your shoulders and your back. So you want to be aware that stretching in one direction is going to come easier to you than stretching in the other direction, and that's fine. You also want to try starting with stretching your arm circles going forward and then finish going backwards, and that's because you want to open up your chest as you finish off. So the more you practice, the better you'll feel.
So like Ali said, you want to make sure you go forward first, then backwards, remembering bad posture is like this. We want to be more like this. So always finishing off by rolling the shoulders backwards. For arm circles, a couple options. You can do them sitting or standing, your choice. You can do big arm circles or little arm circles. And for those of you who may not have that range to do the full T shape, do the touchdown or the cactus arms and do your arm circles that way. Either or works. Just making sure we roll our shoulders back and down, really roll our shoulders forward as we do the exercise, getting that full range of motion.
And so the next one we have is the bridge stretch. So bridges help stretch your core lumbar, hamstrings, and glutes. And by engaging in bridges, you can warm up and stretch your lower body and help get your blood flowing.
So for bridge, we're going to be on the ground. You're going to bring your heels as close as you can to your butt. Rest the head on the ground. Hands are on the ground, palms of your hands. You're going to squeeze those bum cheeks as you lift up, only raising that lower body. Remember, we're working our lower body. We're stretching our lower body, not our upper. And then we come back down. As you come up, you push down with those heels and lower down. You can even push down with your hands to help lift you up and come back down. Inhaling up, exhaling down.
And so the last one we have here is side lunges. So side lunges help stretch your abductors and your adductors, aka your hips and your inner thighs. So this stretch helps loosen the lower body for those who may be experiencing tightness, and it also helps stretch muscles that we sometimes forget to use.
So you want to have your feet a little bit wider than hip width. You can even go wider if you like, whatever works best for your balance. I'm going to do a little wider today. You're going to shift your weight to one side, and as you shift your weight, you're going to push your bum back and put the weight into your heels. So making sure that knee and ankle are in line as best as you can. And as you shift one way, we shift the other way. Going back and forth, making this a dynamic movement, going side to side.
Thank you. So now we just have a few bonus exercises. So these are good for stretching at your desk. Like we said, so many people spend hours and hours at their desk or at the table doing work. So these stretches can help, you can incorporate into your day and improve your flexibility. If you're feeling as though your schedule is too busy, this is really easy to do. So the first one we have are shoulder rolls, and both front and back are a simple way to stretch your neck and shoulders and open up your chest while sitting down.
So you guys, when doing shoulder rolls, it's just like doing our arm circles. We're going to start forward and then finish backwards. Remember, opening up that chest. We don't want to be rounded. We want to be more forward and tall and better posture at the end of the day. So rolling those shoulders forward at our desk, table, in a chair, in the car even. and then we're rolling backwards, opening up that chest.
So the next one we have is twisting side to side in your chair, and you want to do this with good posture, sitting upright, and this can help you stretch, strengthen, and lengthen your spine. So this can help relieve mild pain that you can experience from sitting for a long period of time.
So when doing this, I like to say you want to be a little bit on the edge of your chair. You get a little bit more space to grab when you twist. So I'm going to do my left side, right hand on left knee, left hand behind. Inhale, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, then start to twist. You're going to twist as far as you can. Let the inhales make you nice and tall, and the exhales deepen the stretch by twisting a little bit more each time. When you're done, release. And again, when we do one side, we got to do the other side. So opposite side, inhale up, exhale, twist, and then release. And you may notice that one side you get a little bit more twist out of than the other.
And our last one here is the shoulder extension. So reaching to the ceiling while sitting upright, you want to link your hands together and stretch upwards. So you can take this one step further by leaning side to side, and this can help relieve stiffness in the neck and shoulders and help relax your upper body.
So you can interlock your fingers if you like, grab your wrists, whatever works best for you. And you're going to push your arms up, keeping the shoulders away from the ears as you hold this. And again, you can make it a little side bend, tilting side to side, make it dynamic or static, your choice. If you don't have that range of motion where you can't put your hands above your head, that's okay. Let's do a different angle. So maybe you're gonna take it a little bit on the angle, maybe you're gonna do it a little more forward, still tilting side to side as you do this stretch.
So just as you can see, Diana clearly knows what she's talking about, and here at Heart Niagara, our stretch class incorporates both dynamic and static stretching as well as those breathing exercises. So that's something to think about if you're looking to start working towards a little bit more flexibility. And if you visit our YouTube channel as well, Diana has some videos on there about stretching too. And so on a final note, we just have some quick post-stretching nutrition tips. So stretching in small sessions has been proven to increase blood flow to our muscles and cartilage, helping increase the delivery of nutrients and further reducing our soreness after physical activity. So to prevent cramps, you want to ensure that you get enough potassium. To aid in recovery, you want to ensure you're consuming enough protein. To strengthen connective tissue, you want to up your calcium intake. And to relax our muscles, you want to introduce ginger into your diet. And lastly, you always want to make sure you're well hydrated before stretching for flexibility to reduce the likelihood of cramping. And that's everything.
Thank you, Al. So just before we check our Facebook Live, if there's any questions out in the World Wide Web, let's ask our in-house audience. Do we have any questions today? Anything? Anyone? No? All right. Haley, has anyone, no one's typing anything?
Nope, no question.
No questions? Alrighty. We must have answered everything that they were wondering. One last call for in-house audience. Nope. And Haley, nobody?
Nope.
Alrighty. I guess that wraps it all up. Thank you everyone for watching today and for coming in person or virtually. You definitely want to stay tuned next week. We're going to be talking about chronic disease and how it's just not so chronic in a way. Chronic disease doesn't have to be bad, is what we're trying to say. And thanks again, Allie, for presenting.
No problem.